I'm sure, is watching at home. Knows his record will change one way or the other. He's certainly hoping for a win for his kids tonight on senior night. A shame he couldn't be here for senior night to see those seniors on the final time on their home floor. Diabate to work inside against Murray, and the rebound by Rebraca.
That's a really good start. Just a little too much time getting into it by Diabate, but that's exactly what Michigan wants to do. The same thing they did against Michigan State. Get inside.
And a nice bounce, Patrick McCaffrey. That one blocked by Dickinson up on the rim, really close to a goal tip.
You see some cutters, even if it's not your guy, you're gonna have to pick a guy up. But sometimes that's hard when you got young guys on the floor to be able to open their mouths and communicate.
There's Tony Perkins back out to Bohannon. Deep three for the best that's ever done it in the Big Ten Conference. Jordan Bohannon now 436 made threes.
He's such a prolific shooter, but there are games where you just, if you're an Iowa fan, you take an exhale and say, okay, that's a good start for us when he knocks down his first one from deep.
He has no fear or really worry about range that he's in the gym. Diabate knocked away. McCaffrey will navigate up the floor. Patrick McCaffrey will find Bohannon again, this time guarded by Devontae Jones. Rebraca pulled out on the perimeter. Perkins driving it over Hunter Dickinson, who changed that shot, got the rebound.
It's a great job contesting that shot, not fouling.
Caleb Houston, how good has he been of late? 19 points per game over the last 3. The freshman driving inside, blocked away. Diabate there, it's knocked away, and Houston will get another chance for Michigan.
Houston, such great size, and you talked about it in the Phil Martelli era, really playing great, Kevin.
That era of 3 games so far, as Dickinson's hook won't go. Michigan ice cold, 0 for 5 from the floor to start this one.
Spacing not great right now for Michigan. Now, and you know, as much as we talk about Iowa and what they do offensively, as you see there, they've done a much better job of late on the defensive end. They really have found at least their niche for the time being of what to do down low.
Oh, look at Murray with the swat.
Wow, but you need to have some teammates behind you, as you saw there, available to help if needed.
Here's Murray. Little pump fake, driving in on Diabate. Just kind of slid by him, but couldn't get the scoop to go. Jones in transition. Houston the step through, and Michigan's on the board.
It's a nice thing to see for Michigan that one of your best shooters can get some layups, and that just turns that basket into just a manhole cover, confidence-wise, when you start shooting jump shots.
To shoot, not much going on yet for Iowa in this offensive possession. Keegan Murray will launch from deep and hit. I guess not much has to happen when you've got a guy like Keegan Murray who can score from anywhere.
And you talk about the development in just a short time for him and the confidence he's gained and the respect around the country, not just the conference, because of plays like that. Late clock, under control.
Everywhere he goes, NBA scouts are in the building to watch. They're here again tonight.
Yeah.
He is high on the radar right now.
There are a lot of wonderful players in this conference. We talk about them, you know, Johnny Davis. We talk about Jaden Ivey. There, Kofi Coburn. But when you're talking next level, Keegan Murray, for my money, is the guy that's going to give you the early payoffs at the next level.
There's Murray, 5 to shoot, launching again, hitting again. Keegan Murray, 8 quick out of the gate for Iowa.
6'8", 6'9"-ish, long, under control, has great elevation out there on that jump shot.
Handles like a guard at that size, doesn't he?
He really does, and doesn't make a lot of mistakes. That's what you like about it.
Houston trying to answer, he cannot. Luka Garza develop into an NBA player, and now you've seen Keegan Murray develop into perhaps a top 10 pick.
Yeah, in such a short time.
Double, good pass out of it to Houston. That 3 short, but that's what they're going to expect from Michigan's Hunter Dickinson tonight. Passing out of that double team.
And it's good to see if you're a Michigan fan, you know, you would have wanted them to start the game that way. Almost see if he's still hot from Tuesday. coming off that career high, but now you get a timeout, you make an adjustment, but this is the end of the floor. You got to do some work if you're Michigan.
Well, Patrick McCaffrey, who missed that game Monday against Northwestern, suffered a hip injury in the win over Nebraska last Friday. More of a precaution to hold him out of Monday's game. Looks like he's moving fine now. Eli Brooks got a lane all the way in for 2.
That's really good motion offense there. You know, that constant motion, that's what makes Iowa so good. But when there's really no shot blocker for Iowa, you have to attack the rim if you're Michigan.
That's one area that Michigan should have a big advantage inside.
Yeah, whether it's off the dribble or whether it's someone with their back to the basket, without question.
There's Perkins, the pull up of the foul line, off the heel, rebound knocked around, and Dickinson able to secure it. Brooks looking to push. Transition now for Michigan. Jones going all the way in. The kick out to Brooks for 3, and the rebound to Murray. Michigan 0 for 3 from deep to start. Rebracha beating everybody down the field, and the North Dakota transfer on the board.
Yeah, it just can't happen. When you're retreating, you got to at least turn, see the ball. Someone's got to pick the ball up first. So Keegan Murray can't just see over the top. Again, that communication is important, not just in the half court, Kevin, but especially in the open court, finding a man.
Dickinson will launch from deep, pinballs out. The rebound tipped to the corner. It'll go out of bounds for the Hawkeyes, one of the hotter Hawks of late. He has found his three-point shot, 11 of 15 in the last 4 games as Jones rebounded by Diabate.
It's a great work on that offensive glass, but you want to see this ball moving a little bit more.
Baseline jumper not going to go. Brandon Johns Jr. in there replacing Hunter Dickinson, couldn't secure that board. Joe Toussaint off the bench now, running the point. Toussaint a bench roll now. They've moved Jordan Bohannon back to point over the last 8 games, but Toussaint can still distribute.
Johns caught in no man's land, didn't know if he was going to stop the ball and let his guard come through or if he was supposed to go back. Sometimes you get caught in the middle and you're playing against a really good guard who knows how to play the game. That's what happens. He dumps it off to a big down low.
Hawks have hit 5 of their last 6. Michigan's missed their last 4 and just 1 for their last 7. Here's Brooks. Shot clock under 10. Brooks has to kick out to Jones. 2 seconds. The runner drops for Devontae Jones, making something out of nothing.
Pretty good job. Constant movement. Catch it, don't hold it. You know, sometimes guys catch it and stop. You got to stay in the flow of the offense. A little shot fake. Get you to that floater.
Here's Bohannon back out to Murray. Murray will launch again from deep, and he'll hit again. 3 for 3 from behind the arc. He's got 11.
Anytime you go underneath a screen or you're late to catch up, great players make you pay for it.
How about this start for Iowa? 20-8 on the road at Michigan. Houston will attack. Scoop shot won't go, but he's fouled.
Opted to go with the headband tonight. I was surprised by that.
Especially after you've had a great performance without one, right?
Yeah.
That's messing with fate a little bit.
Try to keep everything the same, man. The same, what you ate, when you got up, timing, everything.
1 for 2 for Caleb Houston. Not much going right for Michigan. They are doing a good job on the offensive glass, but they've also missed a lot more shots than Iowa has, too. More opportunities. Here's Murray again. On the drive, bumped on the way in. He'll go to the line after the foul.
But defensively against Iowa, you have to be alert. You have to pay attention to the little things.
Kobe Buffkin in the game. He's in the backcourt with Eli Brooks trying to break this Iowa pressure. They just get it across. Now Williams will attack, driving on Murray and muscles it up and in.
That's what I love about the kid. Every team needs a player like Terrence Williams II.
Well, look at Toussaint using that speed in traffic, and Williams with the rebound looking to push again. Ahead to Houston. Baseline reverse won't go, and the rebound pins out to Aaron Eulis.
Yeah, trying to avoid the contact. You have to take the contact and try to get to the foul line, especially when you can shoot it like Houston.
Michigan got back defensively. Iowa setting up in the half court. This is Chris Murray. going to work against Brandon Johns Jr. And Chris Murray's game has grown up as well this year. And when he's the guy next year, look for an exponential leap for Chris Murray.
And it's an equal opportunity offense that they have at Iowa. If you get a chance, you got to clear out. Grant McCaffrey says, go do it. He trusts them. That's an awesome offense that every player would want to play in.
Johns working against Connor McCaffrey. He likes this matchup. Tough fadeaway. McCaffrey defended it well.
You talked about how he's been shooting the basketball, but again, another one of those guys who stepped up defensively.
Oh, look at Chris Murray. The lane opens wide.
You know, to tell a guy, hey, I have yours. And again, it starts on this end of the floor for Michigan, and I love that they changed up their defense a little bit here going to his own.
See how Iowa attacks this. Aaron Eulis. Chris Murray will back it out now to Toussaint. Shot clock down to 10. Connor McCaffrey, he's had the hot hand. Enters it into Chris Murray. 4 to shoot. Murray forcing up a tough shot.
How about that?
And gets his own miss. Here's Rebraca. The floater's short, and Michigan dodged a big bullet there.
I thought Eli Brooks did a great job one-on-one. You just have to finish that possession coming down with the defensive rebound.
And there's Williams again.
I love this kid. I really do. He's so tough. You don't have to draw anything up for him. Just plays so hard.
26-13. Iowa by 13 over the Wolverines. Step back for Toussaint. The 3 rims out. Murray going for the rebound, and Murray is fouled on the floor by Bufkin. The bounce to Chris Murray, runs it up and in.
Efficient. It's just an awesome out-of-bounds underplay. Fran McCaffrey, again, one of those guys, one of the best in the country at taking advantage of that opportunity instead of throwing the ball long and just getting it in bounds.
Bufkin. The reverse no. Dickinson battling for the rebound. We've got a foul on Rebraca.
And so I think that's probably what's frustrating for Fran McCaffrey. There were 2 officials that were a little bit closer to that play.
28-13, Iowa by 15. 8:20 remaining in this first half. Dickinson. Rebraca gives up a lot of size, a lot of weight. They double, but Dickinson able to score anyway.
Yeah, once he gets into his move, the double doesn't matter. You have to either come on the dribble or as soon as he's going to pick it up. But once he's turning into his move, he's just too long to affect at that point.
28-15, Iowa still by 13. Here's Rebraca. He'll shoot over Dickinson. Not going to go on the rebound, Bufkin.
It's a great job defensively, not just challenging the shot, but forcing someone to shoot a shot in Rebraca that he's not really comfortable. He has the range, 15-17, but if you have to pick your poison, that's the one you want if you're Michigan.
Dickinson passing out of the double to Brooks for 3. 10-point game now as Iowa trying to figure out where the offense went.
Listen, they're in this situation because Juwan Howard said, we're going to play teams early.
Yep.
No, they have 10 underclassmen, but Seton Hall early, Arizona, San Diego State is playing well. I mean, they played outside of conference. He put them in a tough position so they could be better equipped for where they are right now.
Brooks the runner, and that one drops. Smart play by Eli Brooks. And Michigan back within 8. Iowa back with Bohannon, Murray, and Patrick McCaffrey.
Yeah, the energy level has picked up for Michigan. Their feet are moving much better. Obviously, when you make shots, better things happen for you. But when you go back to guys like Grant McCaffrey said, I'm getting my guys back in the game. And that's exactly why, to take the crowd out of it, to stop the mini run.
The length of Patrick McCaffrey as a ball handler is pretty special.
It was interesting talking to Fran McCaffrey when he talked about practice yesterday. Look, that's not just knowing your player, that's knowing your son as well.
Right. Probably knows him a little better than some of the guys on the team. Eli Brooks after the foul on Chris Murray. Frankie Collins back to Dickinson. Diabate inside. The patience, but the shot wouldn't go and out of bounds to Iowa.
But when he has the ball in that paint, it's go time for Hunter Dickinson.
You're saying he didn't improve his situation any there?
Absolutely not. It almost made it worse for Diabate. It's just a 1-foot pass into defense. Now it leads to a bucket at the other end, and it has to be a concerted effort to get spacing for Michigan right now and to throw that ball into number 1.
Keegan Murray with 13 in the first half. He is some special player. Buffkin, baseline jumper over Murray. Dickinson, offensive rebound, and he's fouled.
Your coaches can call plays, but as players, you have the responsibility to get your stud involved.
As I say that, 1 for 2 on that trip. It'll balance out.
It will. They just have to get in the ball so he can get there.
Chris Murray with Iowa up by 11. Here's Bohannon. Chased by Eli Brooks. Another 3 up, this time from Chris Murray, and off the heel to Brooks.
And it's a tough matchup for Dickinson. That's why you got to do this. Give him the
Dickinson.
ball. That's a foul.
No whistle.
Wow.
Keegan Murray came over to help. Didn't get the call. Bohannon with the deep 3, and it'll snap to Twine.
And that's a tough one. While everyone's yelling at the officials, Iowa's coming down, knocking down shots, but Hunter Dickinson has to not only help inside, but then chase a guy like Murray to the perimeter. So anytime you have a struggle or really a fight on defense, you want to touch the ball at this end. Good job there with the double team by the Twins.
Houston on the baseline, ball knocked free. Diabate can't get it.
Again, especially with a team like Iowa that wants to run it down your throat, and they have shooters.
Third turnover by Michigan. Iowa trying to take advantage. Bohannon, a bullet inside to Chris Murray, and he got the roll. And here come the Hawks again. They reinserted those starters, and the lead back up to 16.
And they score them in a hurry, Kevin. They really know how to make you pay if you're a little sluggish, if you're not communicating. 2 guys switch out.
9-3 run for Iowa. Collins, baseline drive, no, rebound, Keegan Murray, and Iowa on the run, transition, Bohannon launching again, that one won't go, and the long rebound, an offensive board. Leaning in, the foul.
Because people believe that you can fight through this, and listen, again, you got to cut into this so you have some good vibes going into halftime, but it definitely has to start at the defensive end, Kevin, without question. Whether it's talking, whether it's helping and getting back, Iowa just looks a step quicker this half.
Hawkeyes with their largest lead at 18, 39-21. Michigan got it as close as 8, but then they brought Bohannon, Murray, and McCaffrey back in, and the Hawkeyes got it rolling again. That Brooks 3 trying to change things for Michigan.
Eli Brooks he really does. We talked about this earlier today. He gives the game what it needs, at the right times.
And Michigan needed points there,
Absolutely.
and he provided it. Now they need a stop. Shot clock under 10. Bohannon. Back out it goes to Perkins. Perkins the 3. Up and down for Tony Perkins. Just a 27% shooter from behind the arc.
And sometimes when things are going that way, that's what you get. You're Iowa, you're on the road, you're getting whatever you want. Confidence feels great. And sometimes for Michigan, I think you do everything. Got the right guy shooting. Knocks it down.
An answer from Eli Brooks. He's been part of 121 wins at Michigan. Jordan Bohannon's been part of 120 wins at Iowa. And a ball into the backcourt that's turned over. So we approach 2 minutes to play in this first half. Michigan hoping to get back within shouting distance for the second half. Brooks now. He's had the hot hand, trying to get things going. Here's Dickinson. And a shot clock violation based on that replay going down to the tenths of a second. It looked like it was out of the hand.
It did.
Not by much, but enough. Perkins On the curl, gets all the way to the rim and lays it in. He was so good last Friday against Nebraska. He had 20 points in that game. The first non-Murray to lead Iowa in scoring since early December. Trying to pick up where he left off in that game on Friday. Brooks off the hesitation, leaving it for Dickinson. He is fouled.
With the clock stopped.
Cleanly played for both teams as Dickinson 1 for 2 at the line. Murray the rebound. 14-point Iowa lead.
I love the pressure. As long as you retreat.
Bohannon,
and
another deep three. You found that guy raining it down again. He's got 9.
There are certain guys you have to shield towards. You got to lean their way, and as soon as Jordan Bohannon steps over half court, someone should stay
He's
with
in
him.
range. Yep.
That's right.
Dickinson taken away. Chris Murray, good anticipation.
You just can't float a pass in there to your big. You got to fire it. You know, it's one of those things that you want young people to know. Young players, fire it. You got to target, throw it to it. Can't float the ball when you're playing against long defenders.
Iowa will use its use it or lose it timeout. Bohannon a little frustrated. Have been on from the beginning offensively. Under 10 on the shot clock for Perkins. Perkins attacking against Jones. Perkins pull up off. Long rebound chased down by Houston. 5 seconds to go. Brooks with the fake. Contested 3. It won't go. Perkins catches the rebound. 3/4 court heave for Perkins off the backboard. Iowa certainly found Chrysler Center very comfortable in that first half. 60% shooting, 7 of 10 from 3. And they'll go to work with a 17-point lead to start this second half. And the drop off to Rebraca got a great look, just couldn't finish with the challenge from Dickinson.
Yeah, Hunter Dickinson understands his strength. You know, if you're not blocking shots, do your best to change them. And Rebraca knew he was in the area.
Here's Brooks. The step through, little runner, dies on the iron and falls. He's got 15, a real bright spot for Michigan as they try to come back, and Bohannon entering inside to Murray, and he's fouled by Diabate. That'll be the first on Moussa Diabate.
Look, your last game in this building, you want to make it a good one. You know, I know there are a lot of emotions on senior night. Sometimes to temper them, it's hard, but you almost have to use them. And that's what Eli Brooks is doing.
Perkins off the inbound gets the 2.
I mean, everybody's getting a chance here. That's the problem. It's not just one guy that's beating Michigan. They're getting beat from a lot of different spots, and that just tells you individually you have to do a better job of moving your feet and being a little bit stronger.
This Iowa team, they've won 7 of 8. They've been so impressive down the stretch. As Houston drives inside, that won't go, and the rebound tipped out of bounds by the Hawkeyes. And it's a really good time to peak, obviously, as we enter March, but look at what Fran McCaffrey has done. There's been no Iowa head coach that's won Big Ten Coach of the Year since Dr. Tom Davis back in 1987. And it's likely a 2-man race between Fran McCaffrey and Greg Gard.
Yeah.
Both picked low in the polls to start the season, both exceeding expectations, both developing a league star as a scorer. A lot of similarities between those two schools.
And look, you can't ignore what he lost. You know,
exactly.
That does play into what you talk about, the development of guys like Keegan Murray and how they still have found success without that stud that they lost last year.
Bohannon trying to force it into Keegan Murray. The touch pass to Diabate. Michigan getting the transition game going.
And a great job defensively, creating that offense with the defense, and sometimes that's what you need coming out of halftime when you're trying to cut into a huge lead. Got to string some plays together at both ends.
Under 10 on the shot clock. Bohannon cutting, blocked off by Dickinson. Bohannon against the big man. He'll shoot the 3 over him, and he'll hit. Bohannon with 12. That shot brought rain. And the lob taken away by McCaffrey. Led him too far. Bohannon on the move again. They don't stop ball. He launches and hits again. He's feeling it. How many times have we seen that in his Hawkeye career?
I mean, the walk-up is, you have to know that's what he does. Another turnover trying to go to Dickinson down low.
Here's Perkins in the open floor. McCaffrey will try, and Dickinson swats it out of bounds.
I mean, there are games where Jordan Bohannon, I think, he needs to be shooting more. This is not one of those. This is a game where he is in a groove. You want to see him shoot as many times as possible, but to step back and get that off over a 7-1 guy and then to come down and follow it up. Some Steph Curry type stuff we just saw right there.
Perkins driving inside. Dickinson helps out with a swat. Diabate will move it up the floor now for Michigan. They have got to find some rhythm on both ends of the floor. Brooks can provide. Diabate, good position, stripped out of his hands.
Just can't bring it down again. Youth, you keep that ball up, you spread those elbows out, go up strong. At that size, you cannot bring it down and make yourself 6-1.
Bohannon. Here's Keegan Murray, 15 in the first half for the 4th leading scorer in college basketball. 7 to shoot. Bohannon again. Bohannon trapped, finds Rebracha trying to throw it down, and Diabate says no way.
Got numbers.
And Dickinson, count the bucket, and a chance for one more at the line.
Great delivery. They tried it the last few times down the floor, just in a hurry a little bit. Passes that Dickinson couldn't control. Look at that. Meet him at the rim. Great recovery. A little help from the rim as well. Look away by Eli Brooks, but that's the way you want to deliver the pass to Dickinson, working his tail off to beat everyone down. Front of the rim, I love it. He runs right rim to rim. You just have to be better at your delivery. Not your delivery is great tonight.
I'm fine.
And it's always perfect.
McCaffrey swatted again. Dickinson keeps it in play, and Diabate able to scoop it up. Michigan gets the stop. That's where it has to start in a comeback. Now can Iowa get another stop inside? And Diabate on the feed from Dickinson.
Another reason why you have to deliver the ball the right way to Dickinson, because he's such a good passer. You throw it to where he can catch it, draw some bodies, and then he delivers an awesome pass to Diabate.
Patrick McCaffrey stumbling inside, but Perkins there for the follow jam.
Wow, might have gotten away with a little walk there. And sometimes that's the way games go. When you're playing well, everything's rolling for you, even those loose balls.
And a foul, that's Chris Murray. Five of them. Iowa 9 of 14 from three-point land. And after a frenetic 5 minutes to start the second half, and you felt like Michigan was really getting some momentum, they only outscored Iowa by 1.
And that's a situation there, that turnover, where you have to come to the ball. You have to show up for a teammate. There was one guy guarding 2 on the weak side, and Hunter Dickinson really had nowhere to go with it.
4 turnovers this half now for Michigan. Look at Perkins. He's been aggressive. 13 for Tony Perkins.
Tough. Knows how to turn that corner and get downhill.
Jones toeing the line for 3, and he rolls that one home. Maybe that'll spark something for Michigan as Jones has 7.
Well, sometimes when you pay so much attention to throwing the ball inside because you're trying to play some catch-up, you forget about your perimeter game. Jones recognizes, stops, and pops. And you're right, you're going to need a few more of those.
Chris Murray thought about it. Instead, he'll drive it to the rim and throw it down. Chris Murray goes down hard after the dunk, holding his tailbone. But that was an explosive attack by Chris Murray to the rack.
Well, you're right. A budding star right in front of our eyes, by one and on another. I mean, that is what an awesome, awesome move. Those don't hurt as much when you're playing well. I will say that.
How do they feel the next day?
I do remember that. Yeah, well, that's when you worry about it the next day.
Jones into the corner to Brooks. That three off. Diabate, good rebound. Held by Murray. Are they going to count the bucket?
No, you can't count that.
Wave it off. Crowd trying to coax it, but no bucket. Foul on the floor.
Still great work by Diabate. Good position down low. The good rebounders always keep their eye on the ball when it goes up. The real good ones, they never take their eye off it, and they find a body at the same time.
Second foul on Keegan Murray. Extra pass into the corner to Jones. He'll try for his second straight three. And Connor McCaffrey with the rebound. He'll push it over to Perkins. Perkins feeling it tonight, trying the window, and Dickinson the rebound off the miss. Jones now doesn't have numbers. Houston, a little bobble and a foul as he stepped around one defender and met Tony Perkins, who picks up personal foul number 1.
And it's something little, but Hunter Dickinson's outlet pass to half court to Jones it's special because his eyes are always looking up the floor. And we know he's a great passer of the basketball, but to rebound and to kick it ahead is huge.
Here's Dickinson one-on-one against Chris Murray. And Dickinson made short work of that.
He's had that, but at times what happens is he catches and waits just a second too long, and now the double comes. That time he went a little bit quicker. Double team couldn't collapse.
Here's Perkins with 15 to shoot for Iowa. Hawkeyes 6 of 13 in the second half from the floor. Bohannon, a rare 2. That one won't go, and Dickinson starts it up to Brooks.
And at this point, Jordan Bohannon and Eli Brooks are the two old men at the Y. I mean, they've played a ton of games against one another.
Yep.
They got to know what they're doing.
And McCaffrey, what a save for Connor McCaffrey. He's had a laundry list of injuries through his career and still giving up his body to keep it in play. Chris Murray using the window again. He's got 12, and Iowa takes advantage of another Michigan turnover.
Yeah, they just keep coming at you. The turnovers, obviously, they kill you. And even if they're not pick sixes, meaning it's a live ball turnover, they grind you down and they find a bucket.
Houston can't connect. Murray with his 4th board. Been a quiet second half for Keegan Murray, and yet Iowa in control of this game. Now he'll go to work against Hunter Dickinson. Murray driving on the big man. He'll go to the line for a pair after the foul on Dickinson, his first.
It's a tough matchup for Dickinson. If he backs up too much, which I would tell him to do, and then recover late, you know, he tries to move his feet. Just nothing you can do in that situation. And your teammates behind you have to stay home because of the 9 threes that have been made. It's a great recognition. The star of a team, you allow him to get comfortable early. Now you have to focus more on him, which allows other guys to step up. It gives them more space. And that's what we've seen in this game from Iowa.
You've got 4 Hawkeyes in double figures already. Perkins, Murray, Chris Murray, Jordan Bohannon. Awfully good play so far tonight for Iowa as Brooks gets the floater to drop in. He's got 17.
He's got all the moves, got all the tricks. He's such a smart player.
He's seen it all. He's done it all. He's a super senior. His final game in Ann Arbor. Perkins against Brandon Johns Jr. He'll back it out. Connor McCaffrey will reset. Here's Murray. The 3 over Williams. You bet. Keegan Murray has the range. He's got the handle. He's got it all. 67-48 Iowa.
Most importantly, the size, the length to shoot over a guy like Terrence Williams II. And he's never in a hurry.
Houston will try to answer, and he will. Big answer for the other fabulous freshman from Michigan in Caleb Houston.
Talk about another guy, 6'8", who has a beautiful stroke.
Just finding his game over the last month. Should still be a senior in high school. He reclassified, and
it's amazing.
It is. This is a tough league to learn in. Toussaint trying to force it up, and Johns good box out to get the rebound.
And now with no focal point in the paint in terms of Dickinson, where does your scoring come from?
And a hand check. Philip Rebracha.
Team of scorers, they recognize that. All I got to do is show up and be ready to shoot it.
5 team fouls now after the Rebracha foul before the timeout on Iowa. 2 whistled against Michigan as Brooks will dump it to Johns Jr. And Brandon Johns Jr. on senior night into the scoring column for the first time.
And very good patience. And the same guy is a part of it, Eli Brooks.
Ulis blocked off, has to back it out. Iowa getting some extended rest now for Bohannon, Keegan Murray, and McCaffrey, and we've got a whistle and a foul going against Devontae Jones, his first, team's third. Keegan Murray on the bench. It's been a good night for the Murrays back in the home of their dad, at least the state of Michigan. Keegan and Chris have combined for 31 points tonight. Dad was a superstar at Battle Creek Central High School. Graduated in 1992 as Mr. Basketball in the state of Michigan. Was a big Michigan fan, by the way. But as he was being recruited, the Fab Five was here. Not a lot of opportunities to play with the Fab Five showing up in Ann Arbor, and a foul on Rebracha battling for the rebound, his third. So Kenyon Murray ends up at Iowa, and thus the Twins are now in Iowa uniforms and now both on the floor again for the Hawkeyes.
And really their development has been special. Chris is still trying to get to that level, but you talked about it, one more year for him. There's no reason why you can't think he has a chance to make some good coin after he leaves, but Keegan really has figured out not just how to play under friend McCaffrey, but he's learned how to play at the highest level. You're not going to run into players and bodies and coaching styles in any other conference as well as in the Big Ten. So there's a great place to grow and to learn the game. This is the place, and he's done it, Keegan.
Good ball movement, and John's got the kind roll on the rim. This is the moment for Michigan. They've got it to within 12 now. Can they crest over that double-digit deficit and get it back to single digits, get this crowd involved? A little late night, a little Big Ten action after dark in Ann Arbor.
In the zone, you still have to pay attention. You still have to communicate.
Ulis with an air ball.
Rebound.
And Chris Murray gets the rebound.
A lot of times teams think you're in a zone, it's time to rest. But in a zone, most times the offense has the advantage on the glass.
And Keegan Murray gets the foul call on Terrence Williams, and he'll go to the line for a pair. Keegan Murray just working against Williams.
And the key is, does Williams, his hands have to go straight up. If they're at an angle at all, I don't care if the offense initiates the contact, you have to have your hands straight up, or it's an easy call to justify for the officials.
You know, when you're coming down like that, it gets called almost every time.
Absolutely. You almost have to put them up and put them past your shoulders back. That's really the only way they're not going to call that.
Keegan Murray, by the way, today named a finalist for the Karl Malone Power Forward of the Year award. And some pretty good competition in that award, but Keegan Murray has put up some astronomical numbers this year. He is a terrific candidate for that and a bevy of other awards by the end of this season.
9 of his last 10 games have been 20 points or more.
All against conference competition, too.
Exactly.
This isn't like he's playing Poughkeepsie State here. Nothing against Poughkeepsie State. As Brooks' three is rebounded by Keegan Murray.
Is that even a place?
I'm not sure. I kind of tried to pick a school that wasn't a real place so that nobody would get mad.
It might be, so we're probably both in trouble.
Probably. Going to be boycotted by the Poughkeepsie State Alumni Association.
Poughkeepsie State Tigers.
We've just created an entire school. That's what happens late night in a big game. Devontae Jones stepping through traffic. Ball turned over right into the hands of Keegan Murray. 9th Michigan turnover.
Really nowhere to go. That spacing just collapses down.
Connor McCaffrey, first shot of the night. And there's Chris Murray with the offensive rebound. ball knocked free and taken away by Caleb Houston. Now can Michigan convert? You bet they can. Timeout.
Obviously, we know what he can do on the court.
His knowledge of how to play the game.
Yeah.
That's really what stands out when you watch him. Bohannon against that pressure. Here's Chris Murray. Looking the baseline. Nothing there with Dickinson blocking off. Still 15 to shoot for Iowa.
It's a big defensive set for Michigan. After they score the other end, call a timeout. I'd like to get a stop here.
Chris Murray tied up, and the possession arrow will send it back to Michigan.
Here's a chance to chip away, and you got to do it now.
Yeah, they've only been able to take 3 points off the halftime lead. Iowa's been able to just kind of hold them off in this second half. Houston looking baseline. The Murrays converge, and he's able to muscle it through.
I just love the way Hunter Dickinson delivers the ball, though. You know, he's not throwing it. He's passing it with some heat on it so guys can catch it, rip it through, and get to the basket like Houston did.
Now, Iowa's had an answer all night long. Where will the answer come from in this moment?
Well, now they don't have to.
Oh, and Murray, he
don't have to hurry.
That's a travel and a turnover back to Michigan.
I was going to say, you don't have to be in a hurry at this point. You know, you got a nice lead. You've had everything you've wanted offensively. Another opportunity for Michigan to chip away.
It was 19 for Iowa at the 11-14 mark. Trying to get it to 10 or 9 with a 3. Spin it down to Dickinson, ball loose. Diabate saves it, 6 to shoot. Diabate in traffic, taken away. Ulis picked his pocket. Not numbers for the Iowa guard, so he'll back it out.
Again, don't have to be in a hurry. 6 minutes to play. You did the job defensively.
You got it right back into the hands of Bohannon, who settled things down. Now Ulis to work, and Dickinson changed that shot completely. Houston quickly up the floor. They wanted Diabate. Chris Murray fronting him. Couldn't get it to him. Now Diabate posting against McCaffrey. Double comes out to Jones. Open 3. That'll fall. Here come the Wolverines.
Terrific read by the young fella Diabate down low. Sometimes you can't teach those things. They have to play into those. You get doubled, feel your way through it, find a teammate. Jones knocks it down.
7-0 Michigan run. Crowd trying to get alive late here in Ann Arbor. Ulis. Shot clock to 10. Here's Keegan Murray. He'll drive on Houston. Blocked away. Ball loose. Dickinson's got it.
Just be efficient. Take care of the ball if you're Michigan.
And a foul underneath. Chris Murray got tangled up with Diabate. A 1-and-1 coming on the 3rd foul for Murray.
That's really good defense by Houston. And again, you know, when you have Hunter Dickinson there, you have to pay attention. Maybe a little hesitation allowed Houston to get the block.
They may be checking to make sure they got the foul called in the right spot underneath. Diabate is 61% at the line this year.
Still think there was nothing Murray could have done. His hands were up. What I would say is a great play by Diabate to lure him in, but you got to pay it off.
All of Iowa City just yelled, "Ball don't lie," as that one rolled out. Bohannon on the bounce to a cutting McCaffrey, who leaves it for Murray. Boy, ball movement at a premium for Iowa on that possession.
Yeah, the unselfishness all game long, just spreading the ball around. Defensively, you think you got a guy in front of you, but this is what Iowa does. They cut, they move without the basketball at every position.
Dickinson over Bohannon, and it dies on the back iron. That's a nice touch.
That really is. And why not? You got the smallest guy on the defensive side standing under you, not necessarily in front of you. Shoot over the top.
Coming up on 4 minutes to play, 9-point game. Bohannon And it's poked out of his hands, off his leg, and a turnover. Back to Michigan. Timeout in Ann Arbor. 3:58 to go in the second half.
They've contested shots at the rim. There you see Caleb Houston doing a great job knocking that off of Jordan Bohannon's leg. Now, efficient move without the ball, high percentage shot.
High percentage shot there. Diabate cannot connect on it. Ball loose, and Chris Murray able to cradle it.
I don't think he quite had the ball secure when he elevated to score. Really good play call.
Oh, Chris Murray able to take it away from Caleb Houston, and that's a foul on Houston. Just the 15th foul on Michigan, so Iowa will inbound.
Those are tough ones. You miss the moment. You know, he started to go towards Murray instead of towards the ball, and then last minute changes direction.
Connor McCaffrey into Keegan Murray. Murray attacking Diabate. Good defense by the youngster. Hawks will reset. Shot clock down to 10. Hand off to Bohannon again against Dickinson. Bohannon goes by the big man. The runner, no, it's an offensive foul. Brooks took the charge. Bohannon charging into Brooks. No bucket, his first foul, and a turnover back to the Wolverines.
You gotta love this kid. You really do. He's everywhere. Takes a beautiful charge there. You talked about it earlier, Kevin. Just recognition. He does so much. As much as we're talking about Keegan Murray and what he's done, like Eli Brooks, you got to give him a ton of credit. Really kept his team in this.
Houston will step back in the corner. Won't go. Dickinson with the follow.
How about that? Diabate does a great job of engaging a defender, and then the knack to know where the ball is by Dickinson.
7-point game. It was 19. Just over 11 minutes to go in this game in favor of Iowa. Keegan Murray. He'll back it out against Dickinson. They're going to clear out that side. Let him go to work. 7 to shoot. 5 on the shot clock. To his brother Chris for a 3. Oh, what a shot! Chris Murray.
How about the composure, the confidence, no second guessing. Initially, really good defense by Hunter Dickinson on Keegan.
Chris with 17 tonight now. Goodness, Houston contested 3. The answer is there. And a timeout.
Gotta find guys, communicate.
Gonna have to hurry too to get this across, and it's Keegan Murray, and it's a 10-second count. Didn't get it across the timeline, and a turnover back to Michigan.
Great pressure. Awesome job jumping the ball. Making the smaller Bohannon have to look over the top.
What momentum is all Michigan's. Was the hill too deep to dig out of? And a turnover popped right through the hands of Dickinson. That one is a killer. Bohannon to work for Iowa.
And only their 12th of the game, Michigan, but couldn't have come at a worse time.
9th in the half, though, Donnie.
Yeah.
It's been a real problem in the second half for Michigan.
And it's already an uphill battle. Just compound your problems against a team that can do this.
Bohannon's 3 won't go. Brooks looking to push.
Gotta go.
1:20 remaining. Inside and a takeaway again. Connor McCaffrey got the hand on it. Turnover number 10 in the second half and number 13 for the game. And there's a foul. Dickinson, we mentioned fouls to give. They've got to catch up now to get to the point where they have to put Iowa to the line.
That's when you want Jones to maybe even shoot it. You know, give yourself a chance. I know you're trying to thread the needle, trying to do the right thing.
With 1:06 to go, some of the fans headed to the exits here in Ann Arbor. There's still time, folks. Packet goes to McCaffrey. Under a minute to play. Shot clock under 10. Back to Bohannon. Here's Murray inside. Good find to his brother. Count the bucket.
Turned into and helped other guys shine, and his brother the first guy after that who's really found great success due to his brothers in this game.
Under 40 seconds to go. Jones will try from the top. Diabate, offensive rebound. His putback is blocked, and a foul. Diabate. 22-9 in the shortened season. With this win tonight, they're going to be 22-8 with a whole new cast of characters for the most part. Really impressive job done all year long by Iowa.
Yeah, development of guys we talked about. Shooters like Bohannon. They got a bench in this game tonight. 19 points off the bench for Iowa.
And most of that, all of that, in fact, is Chris Murray.
Yeah. Guys that understand their roles and that are willing to play those roles no matter what. You do your job and the next guy does his, you're going to have a ton of success. And Perkins is one of those guys that plays that role so well.
4 Hawkeyes in double figures. Here's Howard off the bench, finding Dickinson. The uncontested flush, he's got 21. But the inbound to Connor McCaffrey, and he'll run this one out. A giant win for the 24th ranked Hawkeyes on the road. They've won 8 of their last 9, and they are surging